Hi, everyone. Welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take the time to pause and reflect on the word of the Lord. Today, I'm going to be speaking about Peter. A few weeks ago, he was hiding. Now, he's standing in front of thousands. What changed? The same man who denied Jesus 3 times, the same man who ran. And now, in Acts, he stands up and says, Jesus, you crucified, but God raised him. Let's listen. On the day of Pentecost, Peter stood with the 11, raised his voice, and proclaimed, You who are Jews, indeed, all of you staying in Jerusalem, let this be known to you and listen to my words. You who are children of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazarene was a man commanded to you by God with mighty deeds, wonders, and signs, which God worked through him in your midst, as you yourselves know. This man delivered up by the set plan and foreknowledge of God. You killed, using lawless men to crucify him. But God raised him up, releasing him from the throes of death, because it was impossible for him to be held by it. For David says of him, I saw the Lord ever before me. With him at my right hand, I shall not be disturbed. Therefore my heart has been glad, and my tongue has exalted. My flesh, too, will dwell in hope, because you will not abandon my soul to the netherworld, nor will you suffer your Holy One to see corruption. You have made known to me the paths of life. You filled me with joy in your presence. My brothers, one can confidently say to you about the patriarch David that he died and was buried, and his tomb is in our midst to this day. But since he was a prophet and knew that God had sworn an oath to him that he would set one of his descendants upon his throne, he foresaw and spoke of the resurrection of Christ, that neither he was abandoned to the netherworld, nor did his flesh see corruption. God raised this Jesus, of this we are all witnesses, exalted at the right hand of God. He poured forth the promise of the Holy Spirit that he received from the Father, as you both see and hear. This was pretty intense for Peter. He's saying this in Jerusalem to the same people, not far from where Jesus was just executed. It's not a safe speech to say to everybody. It's a transformation. So, what changed? Not the information and not the strategy. The information is still there of Jesus doing all of his miracles and spreading the word. The strategy was still the same, to go through all of the towns and share about him. What changed was the resurrection. The same man who was afraid to be seen is now impossible to silence. That's what the resurrection does. It doesn't just give you hope, it gives you courage. And if that feels real inside of you, you don't stay the same. So, journal prompts that will go along with this passage would be, where do you feel fear holding you back? And what would bold faith look like in your life right now? What has God already changed in you? And then where is he asking you to step forward? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about this. Share it with a friend. Have a discussion about the Bible. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's whispers.